In this video, we will be covering two-way tables. So a two-way table is a way of grouping items into two overlapping categories, such as gender and the ability of driving a car. So again, a two-way table is another way of grouping items into overlapping categories, especially when there are many overlaps that cannot easily be represented by Venn diagrams. On your screen, you can see a table there, a two-way table. We have short and tall, aged 14, aged 15. Sometimes your tables include totals on the bottom and the right, but that is not always included. If I was told to find the total number of 14 aged students, you would simply add up the 45 for the short and the 25 for the tall in that row. So 45 plus 25 is 70. If I was told to find how many short people were found, you would highlight that column. So 45 plus 90 is 135. If I was told to find the total number of students surveyed, you would add up all the short and all the tall, and you will get 200. So one of the best ways to understand how two-way tables work is to look at an example. So students at Eastville High School were surveyed on whether they played video games, and the results are shown in the table below. We have 310 students, male students who play video games, 210 who don't, and so forth. That's how you read this. So, A, how many students attended the college? If I didn't have my total columns there, I know I would just have to add up these four numbers here, and that will get you a total. But we do have a total included, so I know my answer is 965. Find the percentage probability that a student selected at random from the college plays video games and is a male. Alright, so how we do this is, first thing, we're looking at a male student and we're looking at video games. The next thing we do is we find the square that correlates to both of them. So in this case, it's the 310. So knowing that, the probability of picking a male that plays games will be the 310 we found, because that's how many males play games, over the total number of students surveyed, which is 965. And that fraction can be simplified down to 62 and 193. The question did ask, though, for the percentage probability. So before we move on, we're not finished. We need to make sure we times our fraction by 100 to convert it to a percentage. And if we do that, we get 32, if I round to the whole number, 32%. Find the probability that a student selected at random from the college plays video games and is a female. So again, we highlight the row in the column we're dealing with, so plays video games and is female. I'm going to circle our number, and then we go from there. So the probability that is female that plays video games. So again, 178 over 965. That cannot be simplified down, but again, we are told to find the percentage probability, and to convert a fraction to a percentage, we times it by 100. So we get 18%, 18, if you round to the whole number. So if a female student is selected at random, what is the probability that she plays video games? Alright, so this time we're only looking at female students, so we're only looking here. And of those, we're looking at plays video games, so the 178. So the probability that plays video games given that the person is female is 178 over 445. And we can simplify that down to 2 over 5. And this time we weren't told percentage probability, so we can leave it as 2/5. To end the video, we'll do a quick recap. Remember, a two-way table is another way of grouping items into overlapping categories, and we use this when there are many overlaps that cannot easily be represented by Venn diagrams. When you're answering questions using two-way tables, it's a good idea to color code sections to identify and make it very clear what you're working with, and to make sure you're not making a simple mistake.